Hi everyone, there's some exciting new updates to Saffron that I'm going to be sharing with you today, and the first one is a new feature where you can convert the units of your recipes. Now there's a couple different ways you can actually do this now, and the first one I'm going to show you is with existing recipes or recipes that you've saved and you want to manually pick which unit it gets converted to. So what you can do is you can go edit one of your recipes and edit ingredients. And there is a new button here which says convert units, and I can click on this, and this modal you can actually use to do conversions. Now the first thing you may notice is there's a lot less ingredients that we can actually convert compared to our original recipe. Like if we take a look at this, there is a ton of ingredients but only 3 showed up. What is the reason for that? Well, not all ingredients are convertible. In this case, we will filter out the ones which don't make sense to convert. For example, teaspoons and tablespoons, and there's some here that don't have any units. For example, 2 serranos and 1 red onion. So all the ingredients that don't make sense to convert, we just filter out, and you're left with the ones that you can actually convert. In this case, we can convert cups to another unit and pounds to another unit. Now the other thing that's good to note is sometimes it may look like something has a unit, but it's not in the proper format. So for example, here I see 5 chicken breasts around 3 pounds. And this 3 pounds I would really like to convert. And so the expected format is amount, unit, and then everything else. So this is roughly the format we expect the ingredients to be in to be able to convert them accurately. So whenever it's not in this format, it won't function. So in this case, there's an amount, but there's no unit. Everything's at the end here. And so we can rewrite this to fit in this format, and then that will actually convert. So for example here, I can take this 3 pounds, and I can copy it and move it to the beginning. So 3 pounds chicken breast, and I can just remove this. So any ingredient that you'd like to convert, if you just put it in this format, it will then show up in the conversions. So in this case, I can see I can now convert this. And then once you want to actually convert something, how it works is you can select which ones you want to convert by just clicking the check boxes, or we can click here to select them all. And you'll notice we've broken this up between weight and volume because you want to convert them slightly differently. So here I can decide how I want to do the conversions. So the first thing is these first 5 are pretty standard. So I may want to turn this into grams, ounces, pounds, milligrams, or kilograms. In this case, let's go to ounces, and it'll go ahead and convert that for me. Now, as always, I can just click this reset button if I messed up and I don't actually want this conversion. But the other thing you'll notice is at the bottom, and we can also do this for volume. Actually, let's do that first. So for example, here I can turn this into milliliters, and I can see that amount here, and I can reset. And you'll notice on both of those, we have some items at the bottom here which repeat. So it says grams a bunch of times. So you'll notice that we had volume here and weight here. So we can actually do a conversion from volume to weight, and that is what's at the bottom here. So I can go from cups to grams. Now the problem with this, or what makes this a little bit more complex, is there's not a simple formula that you can use. It is an estimation based on the type of ingredient. So just keep that in mind if you do one of these. If I do liters, cups, millimeters, it's just using, or milliliters, it's just going to use a formula and you're going to get the exact amount. But for grams, for example, if I want to convert a cup to a gram, I need to know which ingredient, and you'll just want to pick the ingredient here that is closest to what you're doing. So in this case, I would want to convert yogurt and heavy cream maybe separately, or maybe very close to milk. So I can press that, and that will convert it to grams for me. So just keep in mind that this is an estimation, and how well you estimate it close to the ingredient, it'll be closer to the correct amount. And then when you're happy with what the results are of this, you can save the conversion. And then you can see it'll show up here. And I didn't actually end up converting those, so let's convert that real quick. Come back here, select these 2, and convert them to, let's do ounces. And we'll save that. And then we have them converted to ounces right there for us. We also added a way, if you want your ingredients automatically converted whenever you're importing recipes, you can. So how this works is when I go to import a recipe now, there is a drop down here that I can select. And I can either just keep the original units if I don't care about conversions, and I'll just take whatever is on the website, or I can choose if I want metric or imperial. So right here I have the New York Times cooking recipe up, and right here you can see that everything is in imperial. I see cups and pounds, and let's say I want to convert this over to metric. what I can do is I can select metric here, and this will remember it for next time in this select field, or you can come and change this on a per recipe basis if the next one you import, you don't want it to be metric. But in this case, I want this one to be metric. I'm going to go ahead and import this, and if I scroll down here, you can see it converted the cups over to milliliters for me, and it converted the pounds down here to grams for me. And now, of course, if I don't like how something was converted, I can always go into edit the ingredients and convert them, and then I can choose how I wanted them to be converted. Like, let's say I actually wanted them to go to kilograms. I can press that and I can save, and it'll put it there for me. So you always have that as a backup if you want to change that. Lastly, when you're importing from websites, some of them actually have a conversion already in the recipe themselves. So an example of that is King Arthur. In almost all the recipes, they'll have like 2 cups and then how many grams that is. So in cases like this, we don't actually automatically convert anything for you. We just take the thing in parentheses or the thing in front, depending on which option you choose. So in this case, this is the recipe I'm going to import, and you'll notice these grams right here. I want those. So I'm going to keep it on metric here, and I'm going to paste in the URL, and I'm going to import. And our recipe looks like this. So what it did is it just strips out the cups, and it just leaves the grams right here. And we could also do the inverse if we preferred imperial. Also, if you have any existing King Arthur recipes that currently look like this and you'd like to clean up the ingredients, you can go here and push convert units, and then you can select whether you want the first without the parentheses, the second which is what is in parentheses, or just keep it the original. So you can choose how you want this to be cleaned up. So let's say I want imperial in this case and I want the cups here. I can press save and it's going to clean them up for me. So you can do that if you have any existing recipes that you'd like this to happen to. And everything I just showed you is also on the app, so let me show you that real quick. If we hit the plus sign to add a new recipe, I have this King Arthur recipe already on my clipboard, so it's going to autofill for me. And then I can select which units I'd like. So in this case, let's go ahead and do imperial for this recipe, and I can import this in. And then I got my recipe here. And the only difference is in the ingredients here. I hit this plus sign, and here I can either add new ingredients if I want to, like usual, or we have this new button here where you can convert units, and you're taken here and you can decide how you want things converted. And I want this to go over in milliliters, and we can say done, and it pops in there. So there you go. You can also convert these things on your phone. That is everything related to unit conversions. Now I'm going to show you a few other small things that we added as well. So we've had the ability to click on ingredients and cross them out. For the instructions over here, we have the ability to click on them or tap on them if you're on your phone, and you can highlight the step that you're on just so it's very easy to read. And all you do is you just tap on it or click and it'll highlight it for you. Next up, when you're adding recipes, we also added the ability to, instead of just doing an image, alternatively you can actually add a YouTube video. So here I'm going to just paste a video from YouTube, and you're just going to grab the URL of that, and we'll hit save, and it's going to pop in a YouTube video here. So I can actually watch the video here if I want to, and it'll actually play in there. So you can save that for any of your recipes now. And the final thing I was going to show you is on the grocery list now. We added a new icon that you can press, and what that will do is it will copy your entire grocery list to your clipboard, and then you can use that to either send to a friend if you wanted to, like this, or if you wanted to send this to a grocery shopping service or anything else, you now have your entire list in plain text if you need that. That is all the updates for this release. I hope you guys enjoy it, and let us know what you think of everything.